5 years ago, Newton was living paycheck to paycheck, drowning in $45,000 of debt. And honestly, he thought being financially free was something only rich people could dream about. Fast forward to today. He's debt-free, has 6 months of expenses saved, and is on track to retire 15 years earlier than the traditional retirement age. But here's the thing. He didn't win the lottery, he didn't inherit money, and he's not making six figures. What changed? His mindset about money and his intentional journey toward financial independence. In this video, I'm going to share Newton's complete financial independence journey, the good, the bad, the mistakes he made, and the exact steps you can take to start your own journey today. So let's dive in. Before we get started, let me quickly introduce myself for anyone new here. I'm Eddie, and on this channel, we talk about practical personal finance strategies that actually work for real people with real budgets. Now, when we talk about financial independence, we're not talking about being a millionaire or never working again, though if that's your goal, amazing. For Newton, financial independence meant having enough money saved and invested that he had choices. The choice to take a lower-paying job he's passionate about. The choice to take time off to spend with his family. The choice to say no to things that don't align with his values. So let me take you back to where it all started for Newton. It was January 2020. Newton remembers sitting at his kitchen table at 2 a.m., staring at his bank account. He had just overdrafted again. He was making decent money, but somehow he never had enough. He had credit card debt, a car loan he couldn't really afford, and zero savings. But the real wake-up call? His daughter asked him if they could go to her friend's birthday party at this indoor playground place. The entry fee was $15, and he had to tell her they couldn't afford it. That moment broke him. He realized he was trapped by his own financial decisions, trapped in a cycle of working just to pay bills. And he decided right then, this had to change. That night, Newton did three things. First, he calculated his total debt. It was $45,000. Seeing that number in black and white was terrifying, but it was also clarifying. You can't fix what you don't face. Second, he tracked every single expense for the past 3 months. He went through his bank statements and categorized everything. And he was shocked. He was spending $400 a month on food delivery, $200 on subscriptions he barely used, $150 on impulse Amazon purchases. Third, he Googled how to get out of debt and stumbled across the concept of financial independence and the FIRE movement. Financial independence, retire early. Now, he wasn't sure about the retire early part, but financial independence, that spoke to him. The idea that he could build enough wealth to have choices, that became his North Star. But here's what Newton learned in those early days that changed everything. Financial independence isn't about deprivation. It's about alignment. It's about spending money on what truly matters to you and cutting out the noise. Okay, so let's talk about the mindset shifts that had to happen before Newton could make any real progress. Because here's the truth. You can have all the budgeting apps and investment strategies in the world, but if your mindset about money is broken, you'll sabotage yourself every time. Mindset shift number 1, from scarcity to abundance. Newton grew up with a scarcity mindset. Money was always tight, and there was this underlying belief that there would never be enough. So what did he do as an adult? He spent money the moment he got it, because subconsciously he believed it would disappear anyway. The shift? He started focusing on what he could control, his income, his expenses, his investments. He realized that wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep and grow. That's abundance thinking. Scarcity versus abundance mindset comparison. Mindset shift number 2, from consumer to investor. This one was huge for Newton. He used to see money as something to spend. New paycheck? Time to treat myself. But he started seeing money as seeds. Every dollar he invested was a seed that could grow and eventually provide fruit, passive income. Instead of asking, what can I buy with this money? He started asking, how can this money work for me? Mindset shift number 3, from short-term gratification to long-term freedom. We live in an instant gratification world. But here's what Newton realized. Every time he chose the quick dopamine hit of buying something he didn't need, he was choosing to stay trapped just a little bit longer. So he started playing the long game. And you know what? Delayed gratification becomes incredibly satisfying. when you're working towards something meaningful. You working on budget, checking investments, celebrating small wins. Mindset shift number 4, redefining success. Society tells us success is a big house, a fancy car, designer clothes. But Newton redefined success as freedom. Freedom to choose his schedule, freedom to say no to toxic work environments, freedom to spend time with people he loves. Once he redefined success, his spending habits naturally aligned with his new definition. On camera, serious but hopeful. These mindset shifts didn't happen overnight for Newton. It took months of conscious effort, of catching himself in old patterns and choosing differently. But they were the foundation of everything that came next. All right, mindset is crucial, but mindset without action is just wishful thinking. So let me walk you through the concrete steps Newton took and that you can take to start your financial independence journey. Step 1. Calculate your FI number. Your FI number is the amount of money you need invested to cover your annual expenses. The most common formula is the 25x rule. Take your annual expenses and multiply by 25. So if you spend $40,000 a year, your FI number is $1 million. Why 25? Because of the 4% rule, the idea that you can safely withdraw 4% of your investments each year without running out of money. Now, this might seem impossible at first. $1 million? But remember, this is a journey, not a sprint, and you don't need to hit your full FI number to experience freedom. For Newton, his annual expenses were $35,000, so his FI number was $875,000. Is he there yet? No, but he's at about 30% of the way there, which already gives him options he never had before. Step 2, eliminate high-interest debt. This was Newton's first major focus. That $45,000 in debt was bleeding him dry with interest payments. He used the debt avalanche method, paying off highest interest debt first while making minimum payments on everything else. Debt Avalanche explained. It took him 2.5 years to become debt-free, but those interest payments he was making, they're now going straight into investments. That's a complete game changer. Step 3, build your emergency fund. Once Newton was debt-free, he aggressively saved $10,000 for emergencies, about 3 months of expenses. This was huge for his peace of mind. No more anxiety about car repairs or unexpected medical bills. Step 4, increase your savings rate. Here's where the magic happens. Newton started with saving 5% of his income. Then he gradually increased it. Every time he got a raise, he'd bump up his savings rate before he got used to the extra money. Today, he saves and invests 35% of his income. And honestly, his quality of life hasn't decreased. In fact, it increased because he's not stressed about money anymore. Invest consistently. This is where Newton's money actually grows. He keeps his investing strategy simple. 401k, up to employer match, free money. Max out his Roth IRA, $7,000 a year. Additional investments in low-cost index funds. He invests automatically every month. Market up, he invests. Market down, he invests. This is called dollar cost averaging, and it takes the emotion out of investing. Step 6, optimize the big 3. The fastest way to increase your savings rate? Optimize your 3 biggest expenses: housing, transportation, and food. Newton moved to a slightly smaller apartment and saved $400 per month. He kept his paid-off car instead of upgrading and saved $350 per month. He meal prepped and cut his food costs in half, saving $300 per month. That's over $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year, going straight to investments. Compound that over 20 years, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. Step 7, increase your income. While cutting expenses is important, there's a limit to how much you can cut, but there's no limit to how much you can earn. Newton negotiated a raise at work, 8% increase. He started a side hustle, freelancing in his spare time for an extra $500 to $800 per month. That extra income, all invested. Step 8, track your progress. Newton checks his net worth monthly. Seeing that number grow, even slowly, keeps him motivated. He uses a simple spreadsheet. Assets minus liabilities equals net worth. Watching his net worth go from negative $45,000 to positive $250,000 over 5 years, that's incredibly empowering. Now let me be real with you. Newton's journey hasn't been all smooth sailing. He's made mistakes. He's had setbacks, and I think it's important to talk about those because they're part of the process. Mistake number one, being too extreme. In his first year, Newton went too hard. He cut every expense to the bone. He said no to every social event, and he burned out. He was miserable, and that's not sustainable. He learned that financial independence is a marathon, not a sprint. You need to find a balance that you can maintain for years, not months. Mistake number two, ignoring lifestyle creep. When Newton got his first big raise, he let his lifestyle inflate. Bigger apartment, nicer car, more dining out. And suddenly he was back to living paycheck to paycheck, just at a higher income level. He had to consciously reset and remember that the goal isn't to spend more as you earn more, it's to invest more. Mistake number three, not investing soon enough. Newton spent the first year just saving in a regular savings account. He was nervous about investing. But that year of missed market gains, that probably cost him tens of thousands in future growth due to compound interest. Don't let fear keep you from investing. Start small if you need to, but start. The biggest challenge, social pressure. Honestly, one of the hardest parts has been the social aspect for Newton. Friends who don't understand why he won't go on expensive vacations. Family members who think he's being cheap. Society that equates spending with success. He's had to get comfortable being different. And he's had to find his tribe, people who value financial independence and support this journey. But here's what I want you to know. Every challenge taught Newton something. Every mistake made him smarter, and every setback was temporary. So where is Newton today, 5 years into this journey? Debt, zeroing dollars, was $45,000. Emergency fund, $15,000, was zero. Net worth, $250,000, was $40,000. Savings rate, 35%, was 0%. Projected FI date, age 52. Traditional retirement is 67. But here's what's more important than those numbers. He sleeps better at night. He doesn't stress about unexpected expenses. He has the freedom to take career risks. He spends quality time with his family without financial anxiety. Newton's not financially independent yet. He's probably 10 to 12 years away from his full FI number. But he's experiencing freedom right now, today, because of the choices he's making. You with family, peaceful moments, working on meaningful projects, and the journey continues. Newton's next goals: reach $500,000 net worth by age 45, develop a second income stream through investments, continue increasing his investment rate, teach his kids about money so they don't make the same mistakes he did. Financial independence isn't a destination, it's a journey. And every day on this journey is better than where Newton was before. All right, so if you're watching this and thinking, I want to start my own financial independence journey, here's what I want you to do right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Action step 1, calculate your FI number. Annual expenses times 25. Write it down. Action step 2, track your expenses for 1 week. Just 1 week. See where your money is actually going. Action step 3, set one financial goal for this month. Just one. Maybe it's saving $100. Maybe it's paying an extra $50 toward debt. Small wins build momentum. And here's the thing. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to save 50% of your income. You don't need to live in a tiny house and eat ramen. You just need to start. Start where you are, with what you have, and commit to the journey. Newton's story shows that if you can go from negative $45,000 to where he is today, you can absolutely start your journey too. It's not about where you start, it's about the direction you're heading. If this video helped you, please hit that like button. It helps more people find this content. Subscribe if you want more real talk about personal finance, and drop a comment below telling me where you are on your financial independence journey. I read every comment, and I love connecting with this community. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Now go take that first step.